This started as a simple Impreza shell, nothing special, but with the right parts and some serious work, it turned into a full-blown all-wheel drive monster, pushing over 700 horsepower that can run with just about anything on the road. And today, I'm going to show how it did it. The foundation of this build is simple: any Subaru Impreza shell. It doesn't need to be an STI, although it would save you a lot when it comes to the drivetrain later on in the build. It doesn't need to be a rare trim. As long as the chassis is clean and straight, it's a perfect starting point. Big thanks to K2A Media for sending this build in to make a video on. If you want to go check them out, link to their channel will be in the description. And if you have any builds, send them over to my Instagram. All right, let's get into it. At the core of this monster sits an Outfront Motorsports closed deck V3 block. The closed deck design eliminates one of the biggest weaknesses in Subaru's EJ engines: cylinder wall flex under high boost. By reinforcing the block with extra metal around the cylinders, it can handle power levels far beyond stock. Inside, it's built for war. For the internals, go for Manly Turbo Tough pistons, Manly H-Tough connecting rods, and half-inch ARP head studs. Those studs are crucial. They clamp the heads down tight so the motor can handle over 40 pounds of boost without lifting under pressure. Sealing it all together are JE Pro Seal head gaskets, the kind you find on engines making over 1,000 horsepower. Next, we move up top. Manly valve springs and GSC valves keep the valve train rock solid, even when you're bouncing off the rev limiter. Timing comes from an IAG timing kit, and everything spins under Torque Solution HD cam gears, tough, precise, and reliable. To reduce rotational mass and sharpen throttle response, there's a Perrin lightweight crank and alternator pulley. Power transfers through an ACT 6-puck clutch, a proven setup that bites hard and takes abuse without slipping. Every piece of this motor has one goal: to hold power, and lots of it, reliably. Here's where things start to get wild. The turbo setup is centered around a forced performance black turbocharger, one of the most respected and aggressive bolt-on units in the Subaru world. This turbo is no joke, capable of supporting over 700 horsepower on E85. It transforms the character of the car completely. Feeding it is an FP Black 88mm turbo inlet and FP Black intake, ensuring unrestricted airflow. Boost pressure exits through a Treadstone front mount intercooler kit, a massive core that keeps intake temps low and efficiency high. The air charge stays dense and cool even on back-to-back pulls. A tile blow-off valve keeps the pressure under control while delivering that iconic turbo surge between shifts. The IAG TGV deletes polish the airflow path, removing restrictions from the intake runners, and the Cobb 4-bar map sensor converts the system to speed density, allowing the ECU to tune for airflow directly. Perfect for high boost setups where mass airflow sensors would max out. Every component in the air system is built to let the turbo breathe freely, spool quickly, and deliver clean, consistent boost without leaks or lag. Power means nothing without the right fuel system to back it up. When you're talking about 700 horsepower on ethanol, the fuel system becomes just as critical as the turbo. This setup runs 1700cc injectors, massive units that deliver enough fuel for high boost, high power operation. Feeding those injectors are Torque Solution beaded fuel lines, IAG performance fuel rails, and a Turbo Smart fuel pressure regulator, all designed to keep flow steady and pressure constant. To keep tabs on the system, there's an IAG fuel pressure gauge and Aeromotive ethanol content and fuel temperature sensors. Because when you're running ethanol, monitoring the blend and temperature is key for safe, consistent power. Down at the tank, fuel is delivered by a Walbro 525 Hellcat pump, hardwired with a Radium engineering kit to ensure full voltage and maximum output. The result? A fuel system that won't starve the engine no matter how long you're in boost. This isn't the weak link. It's one of the strongest points of the build. When you're spinning a turbo at 30 pounds of boost and pushing the motor to its limits, oil control becomes life or death. That's why the build uses Killer B everything: oil pan, baffle, and pickup. These parts are legendary in the Subaru world. They prevent oil starvation during hard cornering or acceleration, one of the most common killers of high-power flat fours. A 12mm OEM oil pump provides extra pressure, and an IAG oil feed kit ensures the turbo and bearings always get clean oil. Monitoring it all is a ProSport oil pressure gauge, and the crankcase stays clean with an IAG air oil separator. The engine runs on 20W50 VR1 racing oil. Exhaust starts with mappy unequal length headers, giving it that classic Subaru rumble. From there, a Grimspeed uppipe feeds the teal external wastegate, which controls boost with surgical precision while delivering that crisp screamer pipe sound under load. Downstream, a Cobb Street downpipe keeps flow high and back pressure low, ensuring the FP Black can spool fast and make full power across the rev range. The result is a sound that's unmistakable, an angry, mechanical symphony that goes from deep burble to violent whoosh as the turbo hits. This isn't just exhaust noise, it's the soundtrack of forced induction perfection. Power is useless if it can't reach the ground, and that's where the drivetrain comes in. This setup uses a STI 6-speed transmission, one of the strongest manual gearboxes Subaru ever made. Known for its close ratios and bulletproof internals, it's the go-to choice for anyone pushing serious power. Backing it up is STI rear differential, drive shaft, and control arms, a proven combination that can handle all the torque this engine dishes out. The STI stock suspension might sound modest, but it's well balanced and reliable, keeping the car planted without sacrificing drivability. What you get is a setup that grips hard off the line, pulls through every gear with confidence, and holds steady even when you're pushing all 4 tires to their limits. This is the heart of why Subarus hit so hard. That symmetrical all-wheel drive system, putting down every ounce of boost. Keeping temperatures under control is key, and that's handled by a Mishimoto radiator and Mishimoto coolant expansion tank. Together, they keep coolant temps consistent even under hard pulls or track use. Combined with the air oil separator and the upgraded intercooler, you've got a car that can take heat and keep going. These are the details that separate a fast car from a reliable one. Anyone can make big power for one pull, but keeping it alive and repeatable is what makes this build special. So what do you end up with when you put all of this together? A car that can push over 700 horsepower to all 4 wheels. A car that rips from 0 to 60 in the low 3-second range if you get traction. When you roll up to a light in this thing, nobody gives it a second look. It's just a clean, maybe slightly loud Subaru to most people. But when that FP black spools, when that boost gauge starts to climb, and the all-wheel drive digs in, everything around you fades. The launch is violent. The torque hits instantly. Every gear feels like a shove from a freight train. The sound of the turbo spooling, the wastegate screaming, and the tires clawing for traction. It's addictive. You're not chasing badges or brand names anymore. You're chasing performance, and what you've built here is something that doesn't need validation from a dealership sticker. It's pure mechanical violence wrapped in Subaru steel. So why build something like this instead of just buying a faster car? Simple: control and character. For what people spend on a base model European sports car, you can build something that runs with and beats much faster cars. You're not paying for brand prestige or marketing. You're paying for raw performance built by your own hands or the hands of people who love this craft. And unlike most race cars, this one you can actually drive. You can daily it. You can take it on the highway, the track, or the back roads. It's a car that can take abuse and keep coming back for more. Under the hood, you've got a fully forged Outfront block, a massive FP black turbo, a fueling system that could feed a small jet engine, and a drivetrain that refuses to quit. Every bolt, every line, every gasket serves a purpose. What looks like a humble Impreza shell has become a full-blown all-wheel drive weapon, capable of outrunning exotics, embarrassing muscle cars, and doing it all with that signature Subaru howl. You're not buying speed, and you're building it. And when you line up next to something twice your price and leave it behind, that's the moment you realize you didn't need a supercar. You just needed the right parts, the right build, and the right mindset. So let me know in the comments if you would build this and send over any of your builds, and they just might be in a video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you in the next one.